For the last half century, sleepy Joe Biden has been outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure in the endless, horrible, ridiculous foreign wars.
There's a lot on the ballot this year. If Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world.
President Trump and Joe Biden trade jabs just 8 days out from the election. But as the former vice president rides his polling lead from home, the president is hitting the campaign trail hard to meet with voters face to face. So whose strategy is working? Here to debate is Democratic political analyst Kelly Hyman and Republican strategist Joseph Pinion. It is good to see both of you. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good morning. Kelly, I want to start with you because, you see the crowds at the president's rally. It's really hard to deny the enthusiasm that's there. Are you a little surprised that at this point Joe Biden's not out more?
No, we have to remember we are in a pandemic, and my heart and prayer goes out to anyone that's family is affected by it. And thank you to our first responders that are out there fighting every single day. Absolutely. Last Friday, we've had the highest coronavirus in the U.S. And so people are concerned about their health and safety. And so I think it's smart. Biden is still out there on the campaign trail, but he's doing it smart. When you have these big rallies, they're very, concerned about people's health and safety.
Okay, and so to that point, Joseph, there are still a lot of people out there who criticize the president for holding these rallies. Obviously, people close together, a lot of them not wearing masks. He still does get that criticism. So the question is, okay, there's no doubt the enthusiasm is there in his base. In doing these rallies, do you think that the president is able to latch on to more voters who are perhaps at this point, if any, still undecided, or is he just rallying his base?
Well, look, by every statistical measure, the individuals who are undecided at this point are few. We're looking at probably close to 3% as opposed to the 7% that we would typically perceive at this particular point in time. Additionally, we're talking about the fact that we know, statistically speaking, most of the people that will be coming out to the polls on the election day are more heavily going to be Republican than Democratic. And so I think that's why you see the strategy that the Trump campaign is employing, to knock on doors until election day, to really try to, number one, shore up their base, and number two, make sure that of that sliver of people who are still undecided, those sliver of people who are not swayed by the 24/7 assault on the Republican Party when it comes to actually, this social distancing, those are the people that I think the President Trump and the Republican Party is trying to target down the home stretch.
Let's take a look here at both of their schedules. The president's spending a lot of time in Pennsylvania here. As you can see, he's going to be there on Monday, a couple locations in Pennsylvania. Tuesday, he's going to be in Michigan, Wisconsin, and then heading to Omaha, Nebraska. After that, Joe Biden is going to be staying in Georgia on Tuesday. We'll also take a look at a couple of these charts here. The president gaining some strength here in North Carolina. You can see that has gone up significantly. Also taking a look in Florida, where the president is gaining support there as well. And then finally here, ending out in Ohio, where the president is winning there as of October 16th. So, Kelly, when you see, look, everybody knows, especially after the last election, not to necessarily put all your stock in the polls. However, when you look at that last graphic and you see Ohio and you see since about a week or so ago, the president now winning in Ohio, what does that tell you in this last-minute push?
I think that with every poll, there's a margin of error. According to some national polls, Biden is leading in all the polls. But, ultimately, it's going to be up to the voters. We have over 50 million people that are voting right now and going to vote on Election Day. And ultimately, they'll decide, polls is only as good as they are. But we'll have to wait and ultimately see what the voters decide and who they want in 2020.
Yeah. Joseph, final word to you.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the truth. Polls, national polls, really, we can throw them out. We're really talking about key swing states, Florida, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. These are the places where President Trump needs to finish and finish strong. To that point, I think, again, we're looking at these trend lines. Joe Biden, in that last debate, I think basically made some, read my lips size whoppers of missteps with blue collar workers who want to talk about fracking, who want to talk about an America as they know it, not this reimagined America the Democrats are proposing, where they're going to pack the courts and turn a blind eye to corruption. So I think those are the things that are resonating with those voters. That's why we see that constricting of the race. And I think it's anyone's ball game at this point. But I think the Republican Party has to focus on the impacts on mainstream and those individuals still struggling with the aftermath of COVID-19.
Okay. Joseph Pinion, Kelly Hyman, thank you very much for both of your opinions and for joining us. We appreciate it. Have a good day.
Have a
You
good
too.
day.
Be safe.